O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair, with thy creators' glory reflected everywhere. O sea of palest emerald, merging to darkest blue. Whene'er my thoughts fly Godward, I always think of you. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming, coming very soon, oh beauteous isle, to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland fair Cayman now, I cannot thee forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I'd like to bring on stage the president of the Music and Entertainment Association to give the president's address. Let's put our hands together while we welcome Mr. Sean Notch Smith. Put your hands together for our president.
Evening, everyone. I'm taller than Edlin. Before I start, I'd just like to ask you all to put your hands together for Mr. Henry Leslie, Mr. Daniel Augustine, and Mr. Devonidi one more time. This is our 11th year, and I think Henry has done this every year. I was trying this year to plan it a little better, you know. Last year I had the privilege of receiving the Heritage Cross from the CNCF. And, you know, Henry Leslie has the theater all done up nice, you know. All the chairs are moved and tables are in, and this place doesn't even look like the Harquail. It looks like a fantasy wonderland, you know. But we don't have that budget, and I don't have that many volunteers, so please bear with me. We have to do things the way that we can. The Harquail is still a wonderful venue, and we give thanks to the people at CNCF for working with us every year. The fellow musicians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is my distinct privilege and honor to once again welcome you all to the CMEA's 11th annual Muzaic Award ceremony. Before I go any further, I'd like to ask us to observe a moment of silence. May we all stand in solidarity. I need some light, please, sorry. Thank you. May we just all please stand in solidarity to remember our fallen musicians and the many brethren that we have lost this past year. I'd like to once again remind you, thank you so much. I'd like to once again remind you that 10 years ago, the CMEA didn't even have a presence on the local music and entertainment scene. That's just a decade ago, yeah? Much less a calendar event such as the Muzaic Weekend Festival. Unfortunately, but truthfully, it seemed like we were just another theoretical association, another group, just a set of musicians languishing on the outskirts of the cultural umbrella. To make matters worse, it appeared as though live music, which the CMEA had been created to defend 20 years earlier, had been defeated and overcome by on the local entertainment scene by technology and the advent of the DJ. Tonight, I'm proud to announce that the future continues to look progressively brighter than last year's view. And the Muzaic Festival has grown to be much more than just an event honoring our peers. It is now a mosaic of 7 events featuring the different elements of our local music and entertainment scene. This year's DJ showcase, for instance, could be described as more of a DJ explosion, with 3 local venues simultaneously participating for a grand kickoff to the Muzaic Festival weekend. The Socorama at Cayman Cabana, Reggae Dancehall Revolution at Carib Cafe, and the Ultimate Dance Party at Silversides are shining examples of the CMEA's efforts and success with private sector partnerships. That's something that's really important in the music industry, because if you don't have the employers and the musicians on the same page, there's really no growth, you know? We'd like to give thanks publicly to the Protocol Office, Radio Cayman, Hurley's Media, the Caymanian Times, and any other sponsors out there. Mr. Michael Wilkes, Mr. Michael Ebanks, Ms. Vashti Borden, Mr. James Geary, Mr. James Miles, Youth Flex, and all the music schools who participated in the Young Musician Showcase. We thank them all for their support of this year's musical festival. Similarly, our grand finale to the Muzaic Festival weekend tomorrow will feature 5 of our local member bands performing live on the national stage in Heroes Square. This happens after the Heroes Day Awards are given. This is a true testament to our positive and ongoing relationship with the Cayman Islands government as well. And I say that because obviously without a relationship with the government of the day, regardless of who's leading the administration, there really isn't anything positive that can happen for the arts in the Cayman Islands. I don't want to boast, but I think it's something worthy of toasting that we've worked with both administrations fairly positively, and I think we're starting to bear the fruit of that. However, it could be better, that relationship. So I want to ask the political leaders of today to ensure that entertainment, particularly new live venues, are considered, recommended, and approved for all the new hotels that we plan to develop on the island in the future. I know I hear Makiva talking about 50 floors. I don't know about that, but we would just settle with a nightclub on the ground floor. Kind of like how it was at the Holiday Inn or at Galleon Beach. You know, more live music venues means more jobs for local musicians, and more jobs for local musicians and more live music venues means a base for a stronger social fabric of integration to be woven into our communities and their tourism product. And that's important. The tourism product nowadays isn't fully integrated the way it used to be. Everybody rubbing shoulders together. Now it's, you know, you got this uppity venue on 7 Mile Beach and you don't see a local there, or you have another venue where it's all locals and it's in the back of Eastern Avenue. Either way, we like to bring those two worlds together, you know. It's so important. We always talk about Cayman being this place where there's so much social harmony. Well, that's the real, that's the real test and the real taste of the pudding, you know. In spite of our many regrettable losses, I must say that, and there's been ongoing obstacles, I must say I'm really happy to report that overall we had a positive 2018. The 100% increase to our stipend, which was promised by the Ministry of Culture, was honored. I'd like to say thank you personally to the Minister for Culture. I believe in um, you, you giving due where it's absolutely deserved. And he promised that and he came forward. So I must say he can put chance together for the Minister of Culture. I don't think he's here yet, but, you know, yeah. Uh, and we were honored to represent. Basically, this new increase will represent the new financial basis for our continued growth. So obviously, the more funding that the CMA has, the better off that the entire music industry will be. And you need to believe that because we don't even have an office. We don't have nowhere to operate from. And here it is, we're putting on a 7-event, 4-day festival. You know, and yeah, we have some good industry partners, you know, people like Hurley's Media and Cayman Times and other people that I've mentioned. But we could actually do so much more and have much more impact for so much less if we had just a little more. Also, through the hard work and perseverance of the CMEA, we were successful in reintroducing the National Song Competition to the Pirates Week Festival. I know many of you remember the National Song Competition that we used to have with Pirates Week. Well, that's once again back. The cash prize totals CI $10,000. That's a 3-way cash prize of 10,000 CI. And this is basically to make sure that we address creating a balance between original regional music that's being recorded locally compared to the foreign genre produced music that's being generated locally. And you need to have that balance. If you don't have the balance, what happens is we lose our culture. And that's what's lying in the mix. So we have to make sure at all times that even though we can love the hip hop and we can love the rap and we can love the country and we can love the rock and roll, you know, I mean, we always need to find some room in our hearts for the reggae and the soca, the calypso. That's what this stuff is, you know, it's our lifeblood. We can't forget that. Regrettably, in the Cayman Islands, musicians and entertainers are still the only professional vocation without a government-enforced pension plan or insurance. And as a result, many of our ailing musicians of yesteryear consistently have to reach out to the CMEA for assistance. And as I mentioned before, we're begging ourselves. So how do we manage? We do. We thank God for that. But this therefore suggests a problem and one that must be solved. However, needless to say, it is with great pride and pleasure that we at the CME rise to the occasion every time and where possible. We try to assist with what we can with our limited resources. Once again, the CME rose to the occasion, and the Sounds of Love, our annual benefit concert, was executed on December the 1st as a continuum to the Cayman Thanksgiving weekend. This was our second benefit concert that we had. And we'd like to encourage everybody. It's going to come again this year. Mark it down in your calendar. Was any of you there for the Sounds of Love? I know we're right there. I know we're dancing all night. You wasn't there for the Sounds of Love? No, man. I mean, that question was pointedly for you. I mean, no, man. Aunt Charlene left me hanging like that. No, man. My eyes aren't good short. Close. I'm like a heart. No. Yeah, so we had the Sounds of Love. It was our second annual. I'm urging everybody, come out and support, man. Have a good time, you know. If you drop a $5 in the bucket, big deal. If you don't, no problem. Come out and socialize. That's what's important. Yeah? Anyway, I'm not going to take up too much more time. I know we all realize we're here to honor our peers and those who paved the way and built that milestone, you know, that foundation for us who continue to blaze the trail towards international recognition for our music in our islands. To date, we have honored 115 people at the Muzaic. We've created 10 musical icons and from among our peers and our colleagues. Tonight, we continue to build and grow by honoring the many musicians and DJs who contributed endless hours, countless years of professional service and enviable works that will surely live on for generations to come. I couldn't leave before I say something about my exec committee, so I just want to say to them, thanks for their hours of sacrifice, and I promise that because of it, the CMA will be a better place for everybody who joins from here on in, going forward. My fellow musicians, individually, I know we all aspire for different things, some just for respect, some for money, some for recognition, some for greatness. But only together can we truly be the force that the music needs and deserves for us, from us in a growing island nation like ours. Our role locally and that of music internationally. Social harmony, universal unity. That's what it's all about, yeah? So I say that to say, speak up, sing out, and let your voices be heard. Always remember, unity is our strength. And I want you to enjoy the award ceremony tonight. God bless you all. Long live live music. I said, long live live music. Bless. Wow. I'd like to call the Secretary of the Board, Ms. Vashti Bodden. As you can see, we have a limited cast. I'd like to start with giving out some long service awards. You know, there's some people in Cayman who've been playing music for as much as Mr. Howell's right here, and he was playing last year right on the same stage, so that means he's still playing. Mr. Howell, how long have you been playing music? How long have you been playing music? I would say 100 years. The man's 104. This is one of our icons over here. You're going to hear him perform tonight. But I just wanted to use that as an example of how long people have been playing in the Cayman Islands. And I'm talking blowing the saxophone. I'm not talking, you're not playing around, you know. So without further ado, I want to introduce Ms. Vashti Bodden to the stage to give a few of the long service accolades to two of Cayman's finest DJs. Ms. Vashti Bodden.
All right, I guess this is a singer in me because I only know how to hold a mic, in my hand. Okay, so the recipient of the Long Service Award that I'm going to present tonight is actually Archibald McGaw. He's my uncle. Archibald McGaw is a true son of Cayman soil. Born here on March 6, 1960, Archie has at one time or another lived at, if measured in miles, Grand Cayman's two extremities, West Bay and East End, and has made his musical mark on every district in between. Archie is known to be a jack of all trades. He is known also to be the master of at least one of his trades, which is being a disc jockey. He was born at the Georgetown Hospital and grew up with his mother, Miss Maldine, and his grandmother in Northwest Point, West Bay. This was an undisguised blessing for young Archie, whose love of music was nurtured by these strong women who never discouraged him from listening to the music of the 60s and 70s on the radio at home. This period, of course, has been an abiding influence on his musical career. Sometime in the 80s, he managed to put together enough money to buy a single tape deck, and with the help of a pencil used as a rewind tool, we all remember those, he became adept at switching between tapes so quickly that the party audience he was playing for hardly noticed any significant breaks between tunes. Archie's claim to be the first professional DJ on Grand Cayman has not been refuted by anyone so far. Archie has made many opportunities to do free gigs up until 1977, when he was 17 years old, and the Pirates Week organizers called him. That call meant to Archie that his fame had gone abroad, and as far as he is concerned, that was that very call which launched his career as a professional DJ. He began playing at gigs with Bunny and Elaine Miles, keeping the revelers happy between their sets of live music. Since he started his musical journey, he has DJed on a stage with musical legends like Jamaica's Delroy Wilson and Trinidadian Lord Laro, while making regular appearances at Racket Club. This great Caymanian musical man has, for more than 4 decades, 41 years actually, been disc jockeying all over Grand Cayman. He started playing for SIFA in 1989 and still does. His inexpensive service, along with his professionalism, has made him popular with folks in need of music for private parties, political rallies, Cayman Cabana, birthday parties, funerals, and other fundraising events. Let's join in saluting Mr. Archibald McGaw, Cayman's DJ extraordinaire. Please join me on stage. Let's keep the round of applause going, buddy. On behalf of the Music Association, we'd like to present you with this award. Thank you for your contribution to music. Okay, they're asking for a speech, and we always have to please the crowd, so.
I just want to say good night to each and every one of you. It's been a hard work out there putting on to doing this kind of work of DJing, even playing Miss Bunny Miles, them doing engineering and so forth. And I want to thank God for giving me the honor to stand up here today to say thank you all. And I'm honored and thanking pleased to get this trophy. Thank you all once again. May God bless you all.
Archibald Bango, over 40 years playing in Cayman. Can you imagine? Without any further ado, I want to call a gentleman that last year was really controversial, and over since then, he's actually proven himself even more. I'd like to bring to the stage a local radio personality. His name is Mr. Jason Howard. I'd like to ask him to present an award here tonight, and I think it's really important that we call him up. Put your hands together for Mr. Jason Howard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone okay tonight? Very good. I'm pleased to be back here again tonight on behalf of Hurley's Media, SEMA. I love Notch. Notch reminds me a lot of my brother. He usually calls when he needs something. And he asked me to come back tonight. 1 year ago tonight, they gave me the award for supporting local music. And I think I saw Josh Pearl here somewhere tonight. Pearl, where are you? He's here. And over the Christmas season, we launched again for the second time a countdown of just Caymanian artists. So everyone got, at Christmas, while the families were home and we were celebrating the holidays, we got to celebrate what makes Cayman great. It's our local artists. And it came down to a nail-biter between Josh Pearl and Rico Rolando. And Rico's my boy, but I'm Southside till I die. So we gave the award, and he actually got the most votes and ended up being our in power rotation. So if you listen to Z99, you're going to hear a lot of Josh Pearl and Rico Rolando because we didn't want to shortchange either of them. Anyways, let's move on. Great. We're giving away the award for supporting, is this, oh, great, thank you. I know enough about Josh Pearl. We're giving away the award for supporting local music. Oh, okay, actually, we've changed things. I'm giving away the award for #1 song of the year. And it's going crazy to my buddy Josh Pearl. He was born in Savannah, Cayman Islands, started making music when he was 15 years old with a one-track recording program and a webcam microphone. I think we all remember those. He knew what the path he had to take was, and there was nothing he would stop until he got there. His first song was Little Mama's Chicken Noodle Soup. Anybody download that one? His stories sharing and his imagination outside of other passions such as video production and photography kept him moving. His sound is best described as a vibe trapped in a moment. Whether it's about having fun, being serious, playful, or chill, he expresses what is felt in the moment, then translates that feeling to his music. Recently, Josh Pearl has had numerous projects going on. He started his music career. His most notable projects, one of my favorite CDs, actually one of the, no lie, few CDs I have actually paid for, because you can only download it. The Road to El Dorado, his first album released in 2013, followed by his short film, South Side Story. I also downloaded that and enjoyed it very much. Kids Moving. Year after that, he dropped his second biggest single, which was consigned by Jamaican musician Movado, called My Homies. We play that song every 3 hours on Z99, and it earned him 36,000 plus views on YouTube. Anybody who's been on YouTube knows that's pretty good. He also has done a follow-up to that. He spent a couple years living and working in Los Angeles, and while in LA, he was featured in the single entitled Try It by Sabrina, another local artist we play on the radio stations here. She also played an incredible set at the Capella Music Festival back last December in Cayman Bay, and stole the show, if you ask me. I am one of his biggest fans. I look at him like he's my little brother. Kid never stops trying and always comes with something new and original. And if you ask me, Josh Pearl is the essence of the future of Cayman music. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating and welcoming our friend Josh Pearl on Song of the Year for this year's SEMA Awards. Josh. There he is. And I think we're the only two wearing suits tonight.
I appreciate that intro as always, Jason. Man, big brother for real. Always telling me to keep pushing. Thank you for Z99 for always supporting the songs that I always put out and having it being the #1 song of the year. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate everybody in attendance tonight. Thanks you for always coming out and supporting Cayman's music in every way that you can, in every way that you do. And I always want to thank the Cayman Music Association for always giving the recognition when it's needed, because living on this small island, it really pushes and helps a lot when we have that recognition amongst the people, within our people, so I appreciate it, and thank you once again.
This is Mr. Josh Hides. In case you don't know, we'd actually like to send out a birthday greeting to his grandmother, who is a CMA icon, Julia Hides. This is her grandson right here. Yeah? West Side. Take a picture. Straight up, 345, you don't know. West Side. Bless, bless, bless. That kind of stuff makes me proud, You know what I mean? Julia is my aunt, too, by the way. Don't ask me how, but I can tell you. I'm a West Bear. I know. Yeah, so next, and this is all about the young talent. I wanted to do this first. I had a schedule, and I believe in feeling the audience, you know what I mean? So, like, I didn't want to just make it all drab, and I was like, I had the young people section last, and I was like, nah, man, I need to move this up because it's important, It's good to mold and meld the two between the heritage and the young guns that are coming up. So without anything else, I'd like to say that the next gentleman I'm going to invite to the stage, it is my pleasure to call on stage Mr. Christopher Seymour. Christopher Seymour, and I'll tell you what I know. I don't have a written bio, but I'll tell you that Christopher is the son of Lamy Seymour. And I know that, as far as I know, he's a wicked drummer like his Uncle Mark. I didn't know that he was going to become such a great guitar player. So I'd go to the studio and see Christopher there messing around, running some scales, and most times people just do it to kill the time. You can't always be banging a drum. But it's so important, I have to tell you, how great this young man has become and how great I think he's going to be. So I'd just like to say, Christopher, you're well deserving of this award. And I see your family here to support you. Come on out, man. Christopher is actually a new guitarist on the commercial music scene. He is the guitarist for, what's the name of that band? I don't know your band. What's the name of that band? Shout it, man, if you don't know the band, man. Watch him. Walk like he would mash hands. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Christopher Seymour. I'd like to say that it's so good, to see the new generation coming up, and especially when they take it serious and they're applying themselves, and the music is actually exuding from them because they're putting in the time. Respect, my brother. 100%. You don't know. See? Yeah, man. We got a photo here. So, of course, a speech.
I'm extremely humbled and honored to receive this award. If it wasn't for my dad, Uncle Greg, and Uncle John, I probably wouldn't even be doing music. So I'm going to just continue to keep on making them proud. Thank you.
Yo, you got a picture? It's a Facebook time, you know. You understand? Yeah. Some of you may not know, we don't even really have it in the budget to have an official photographer. I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, I didn't want to load up the flex, but I just gonna make you know. But we make ends meet though. We make ends meet. We do this, and we do it just as well as anything else. You know why? Because our heart's in it. That's what it's about. Christopher, thank you so much. I just want to say that in a little while tonight, hopefully, I think you're gonna hear this young man. You deliver on the guitar, and you're gonna be blown away. Next, I want to say, let me just check. Give me 1 second, please. I'm going to have to wing this one. And I owe this gentleman a huge apology. That's between him and I. I'm not going to publicly get on that. I can just tell you that this is the wickedest DJ, in my opinion, that we have in the Cayman Islands today. It seems there's some kind of common thread between a generational music thing in Cayman, because his father was also a great DJ and one of the founders of one of the first sounds in the Cayman Islands. This gentleman, just the other day, we had the CMA Music Showcase. And one of the reasons for the showcase is just that, it's to showcase musicians of the Cayman Islands who are members of the association. So what we find is that a lot of the local DJs that have a celebrity chip on their shoulder, so to speak, they don't want to play for the association. They're bigger than that. They need to be paid, and you hear all this stuff. But this gentleman, and in my opinion, hands down, he's better than all the cats. But he shows up every year, and he gives to the association his performance. Mr. Eric Gardner, Adam Skills, and this is a DJ. Let me tell you, we just had him the other night at Silversides, and the gentleman who owns Silversides, I'm gonna tell you something you don't know yet. The guys at Silverside said, "Yo, who's that guy? Adam Skills. We have to get him up here for his own night because he got to come back." The crowd was rocking. Bless my brother. Speech.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for making it possible for me to DJ. 30 years in the business and just keeping trendy throughout that time. I'd also like to thank my fiancée, Stacy, my mom, my kids, and all the people, all my fans that have supported me. My dad, Notch, who has been very influential in how far I've reached internationally and locally. And that's about it. Thank you all.
By the way, Adam Skills has been doing that since he was 13 years old. I won't tell you how old he is now, but I was just asking him the other day, I was saying, you know, by the way, how many years you been DJing, man? He said, boy, Notch, like 30-something. Like, what? 30-something? Time flies, you know? That's how long we've been listening to this kid. And he's amazing, let me tell you. A real gentleman and a scholar. All right. Do you have a time? We're trying to delay because there's a gentleman that isn't here yet, and we wanted to make sure that he was here to get his accolade personally. I believe in straight talk and saying things to people's face, not behind their back, you know? And I wanted to make him know how much he's appreciated. I think that's important, but he isn't here, so we're going to skip to something else. There's a gentleman in this audience who goes by the name of Silver Fox. Some of you may know him as a Trinidad national. He's been associated with many of the local radio stations. But I have to tell you that Paul Harquail is a true Caymanian. Paul Harquail supports local music without prompting. You know, some DJs, you got to call them and almost beg them to play the local stuff, and it's ridiculous, you know. You got to write 1 million emails, and you got to follow up. And so we want to say that the Jazzy B Award this year, well-deserved. Last year we gave it to Mr. Jason Howard, and I was starting to say that it was really controversial because some people thought Jason didn't play enough local music. And I was like, no, that's foolishness. Jason's always playing locals. And you can't support everyone, especially when the radio stations have a format. You know, like if you're a soca artist, you can't expect for a rock station to play your music unless you've fused it and merged it. You have to be mindful of that. But Radio Cayman is a station that plays all genres. And I have to say that it has always been there. It's one of our biggest supporters. And I must say that Mr. Paul Harquail is well deserving of the Jazzy B Award. He's been deserving of it. Come forward, my brother. Lam, the other night when I called you, 2 o'clock in the morning, I think it was, I called Lam 2 o'clock from the DJ showcase. I was out dancing, working all night. This man was playing local music in the dance. You don't get local DJs doing that. That's not on the radio. That's in the dance. Sugar bum, bum. The man were playing Lamb. The man were playing Lara Cayasso singing. What the song is that Lara Cayasso sings? Chiba, come up. All kind of songs Lara Cayasso had. And this man has an arsenal he was delivering in the dance. You don't get people supporting local music like that. So I want to say, hats off, shirt off, everything, Mr. Paul Harquail. Well deserved. You understand? Look at that camera right there. And then give a speech.
Yeah, it's very humbling to receive this award tonight. Notch had made a point earlier tonight about technology. It has made things actually a bit easier. I know back in the days, the musical icons had to go in the studio, cut records, cut CDs, cut cassettes. But now with technology, we could just store your music onto a USB device, which we could just take anywhere in the world. I got a few gigs coming up in Dominican Republic, also in Honduras, and it's a pleasure that I could play our local music in these other countries to promote Cayman music. So, in a way, I would love to see the young generation and the older generation get together and create more great music so we could have that balance of new music on Radio Cayman and not to have too much other different genres of music. So I would love to see that. Thank you very much.
Well deserved, yeah? Honor. Trust me. You know, it's interesting. I was speaking to a minister the other day, and I said to him, I says, you need to tell them that I need an assistant. But I was going to tell you that the Young Musician Award that we just gave Christopher before this award was previously given to James Z. Anglin, Mr. Yannick Powell, Mr. Olijimi Lapierre, Mr. Benil Miller, Mr. Rico Orit Ebanks that you heard Jason Howard talking about, Rico Rolando, Ariana Maeve Broderick, and Mr. Joel Dirksen. Those are some of the previous recipients of the Young Musician of the Year Award. And you can hear from that lineup that we take it seriously, the people that we award. And I say that to say that the Jazzy B Award that Mr. Paul Akal just received first went obviously to Mr. Sherman, Jazzy B Bodden. But also in that company is Mr. Joel Wilson, Mr. Ed Bush, Miss Susan Watson of Radio Cayman, Mr. Loxley Banks of Radio Cayman, Kasia Super C. Stewart, Mr. Rudolph TNT Davis, Mr. Jason Howard, and now Mr. Paul Akal. So we need to put your hands together for those people because those are distinguished members of the local music fraternity. And it's so important because they give, you know. They don't just take, that's it, they give, you know. And that's what it's about. We have a performance that is scheduled here, and I'd really like you to take the time to listen to this young gentleman, Josh Pearl, who received the Song of the Year. Josh, could somebody cue up the music, or is it, I thought you had a guitarist with you, right? But yeah, I think you're going to love this performance. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, you got a guitarist? Who? Oh, you got to be joking. No, man. For real? You went church. You went church recently. That's what it is. Well done, my brother. This gentleman here, like I said, I'm shocked, but I shouldn't be shocked. This is none other than Mr. Junior himself. What's up, my brother? You good? Bless. This is Josh's father, so I'm going to leave it up to them to do what they do. They obviously got something that they'd like to show you. Yeah.
Yeah, they say I couldn't rap like this. Yeah, I'm on this road until they catch my drift. I had holes in my socks before I laced my kicks. Still I rose to the top where the sunlight is. They say I couldn't rap like this. Yeah, I'm on this road until they catch my drift. Still got love for the ones that switch. So all I bad mind and you could save that luck. I just lost a homie, so I gotta say this right. If you ever wanna talk, you can hit my line. Even in the darkest times, you can hit my line. Don't wait until it's too late just to hit my luck. Rest in peace to John, you was family, dog. We ain't had the same blood, but I ain't mad at all. I can see you up in heaven telling jokes with a dog. Talking about cutting springs off a Honda and all. And it's crazy, I remember them days when everybody showed love and wasn't stuck in their ways. When the island was for us before we sold it to slave. For some foreign people, they ain't never come from West Bay. Yeah. What I did, and how this got so bad. I'm fighting with my brothers while they take our land. This wasn't dog eat dog, man, this was hand wash hand. Before God saved the queen, we gotta save King Man. They say I couldn't rap like this. I'm on this road until they catch my drift. I had holes in my socks before I laced my kicks. Still I rose to the top where the sunlight is. And they say I couldn't rap like this. Yeah, I'm on this road until they catch my drift. I still got side. Look, you're untouchable with God on your side. Love in your heart, peace on your mind. These are the times. Come together, we can all unify. Show humankind, love in our hearts, peace on our minds. This is dedicated to the ones that's dedicated. Never give up on your dreams, gotta elevate it. If your house was ever broken, boy, renovate it. You gotta stand up for your rights until you're levitating. You're untouchable with God on your side. Love in your heart, peace on your mind. These are the times. Come together, we can all unify. Show humankind, love in our hearts, peace on our minds. And they say I couldn't rap like this. Rap like this. They see our hands like this. Come on. And they say I couldn't rap like this. I'm on this road until they catch my drift. I had holes in my socks before I laced my kicks. Still I rose to the top where the sunlight is. And they say I couldn't rap like this. Yeah, I'm on this road until they catch my drift. I still got love for the ones that switch. So all I bad money, and you can save that. Y'all make noise one more time for my daughter, Junior Heights. I appreciate it. Yeah, you have a good day. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. A family affair. Yeah, man, you can pull that up. Bless my blood. All the love seeing. Yeah. Mr. Junior Hides and Mr. Josh Hides. That's what I'm talking about. See? And that wasn't even planned. So there you go. I mean, talk about like the generational thing. I remember one year we had Nina Orit and Rico was here before Rico started tripping because somebody signed him to a label. So just kidding. But yeah. But yeah, it was amazing to see, you know, the energy between the mom and her son, and it was just on fire, and it was nice. Just like that father-son link, you know. Wesley, I mean, you need to pick up a sax next. That's why I hit that. So if you ain't picking up, you got to start picking up. Right, Mr. Wes? Talk to him. Yeah. I'd like to actually go to a early intermission because we have a performance that's pending, and I think the young lady has some primping to do before we give you a performance by Swanky and Mr. Howell, which is something that I hope everyone here is. I mean, you're going to have your seatbelts on for that. And Mr. Howell start blowing, man. So buckle up. We'll be back in like 20 minutes.
And hopefully we'll have a lot more in 2019. Daniel Augustine. He's actually here tonight, so let's give him a round of applause.
It's time I told the truth.
Stuart Wilson.
Never got over you. It's true. And tell me what's the use. Never got through to you. We're taking a trip. Take along the sunstream like the fish. You won't need to dress up in heels and such. Cause baby, where we're going, you won't need much.
Neil Miller. Let's give it up for him. He's here tonight as well.
Pray for your change, because money and greed are corrupt people, waste people are. Pray upon it change. Yo, they my predator and poor. My hit song, ooh yeah. Set the pace for me. Set my pockets free, oh.
All we got is 2 cents. I can make a night, baby, spend it with me. Come and spend your night with me. Good vibes, you'll never wanna leave. Hop in the car, we can jump through the breeze. Give you my bless, I ain't talking no sneeze.
Take a look at the scene. Chill on the roof and feel like a dream.
I've been wishing, I've been hoping, I've been praying that these rumors, they be false and that my shawty never playing. But sadly for you,
I gotta tell you the truth. There's no love shit in this world, this shit all subterfuge. The love is fake, there's no real love in it.
Cigarettes and sneaking on you. This island is too small to
I think her real name is Ariana Broderick.
He's gotta learn to say my name, though, cause
'cause he knows he won't get on my level. I'm a lone wolf, he's a rebel. I'm a rose without the petals. For the love like I'm a martyr.
James Z. Anglin.
You are always on my brain.
Jeru.
Cause girl, we got a special thing. These waterworks fall down. Push that button. Tell him gon' push that button. Squad on deck, we buzzin'. Squad on deck, we buzzin'. 3, 4, 5, my bro. I know we just met.
Shamika Clark.
How would you feel if I grab you by the hand? Make you rub on these guys.
This right, yeah, I make them sick to their stomach. If I want your girl, like a press one button. When they pray me, I don't think about this money. If I get a 50, I just flip it to 100.
Andrea Rivera. She's definitely here, so let's give her a round of applause.
Step to the party, yeah, with the time to spend. Think I one proud with me, pushing your waist to me. Do wine have a vice? When I turn, look me in my eyes. Gonna kill you slowly with wine.
Be ready for the road, yeah, wine everything for a reason. Carnival is a season, yeah. Be ready for the road, yeah.
Stroke like carnival.
And pretend you are. All I wine and pretend you are. Mr. Cameraman,
That dude.
leave that picture there now. The border post that just act like you not see me. Mr. Cameraman.
Ben Hudson and Shamika Clark.
Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Every now and then I hear your beautiful name and I feel so lucky. Let me be your rico suave, tu sabe, I can show you the world. Let me be your rico suave, tu sabe, with diamonds and way up, way up, way up, love. Yeah, I'm always on that. Way up, way up, way up, love. Hey, be good. I'm always on that. Way up, way up, way up, love. Let me get. I'm always on that. Sick, sick, that sickening love. Whoa.
So we have to say that was 6 minutes of little clips of local songs. There's definitely a lot of local music out there. Make sure you're calling the radio stations and asking for local music. And make sure you're definitely going out there and supporting them in their efforts. This takes a lot of investment and a lot of time and energy. So let's give it up for everyone that was in the video. At this moment, we're going to move on. We have one award. It's the Regional Success Award before we move on to the musical icons. So the Regional Success Award recipient tonight is Andrea Rivera. Andrea Rivera is a two-time 2017-2018 Cayman Islands K-Mass Soca Monarch Queen. Andrea has always had a deep passion for love, for music, since the age of 4. Originally from the Cayman Islands with Puerto Rican roots, her main influence were Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Bob Marley, Whitney Houston, and Celine Dion. Andrea is a multi-talented and driven, she is multi-talented and driven by her love for acting, dance, musical instruments, and has been developing her songwriting skills since the age of 12. Andrea has been singing in bands since the age of 16, and with the release of her first hit single, Drop It, her more recent songs, Walk Your Ways, Bedroom Wine, and Man Up, Andrea has developed her own pop Caribbean style and fan base across the Caribbean and internationally, with her recent performances on Hype TV, including interviews on top radio stations in Jamaica, radio station promotions in Trinidad, performances for soca concerts in Barbados, Fort Pierce, Fort Lauderdale, and the Uber Soca Cruise in 2018. Andrea is definitely one to watch. Tonight, she's going to grace us with a performance of one of her songs. So without further ado, we'll welcome Andrea Rivera to the stage.
Mueve la cintura, todo mi gente. Mueve la cintura, mueve la cintura. Muévete más dura. Walk up your waist, walk up your waist, walk up your waist, my girl. Walk up your waist, walk up your waist, walk it down, jiggle it up. Dash out the powder, fuck up the place, walk up your waist, my girl. It's the final stage to shell on the place. Get him, make him on your walk, forget the good old days, they did. Maybe a party with friends, oh, a new vibrant generation ahead. Part of actors hear me, yes I remember the days when you're coming out of bed in the sneakers and the short pants, with a rock in your hand and a flag in your hand, it don't matter the audience. Can my girls walk up on fleek? No, we don't care what nobody thinks, but a jump on with is not gonna do it. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Y'all jiggle it and walk your waist. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Just wanna catch funny and down, wind down. In the dance, in the dance. All my ladies, let me see you wiggling your seat. Come on, waste, walk, we waste. Y'all jiggle it and walk your waist. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Just wanna catch funny and down, wind down. In the dance, hey. If a man can't give a good joke or a wine, no, me don't want that. Especially if you're coming at the dance and I'm thinking cute and you wrong bar. That's why me snap that. And me share it on me WhatsApp. Me touch at you, so please get out the way. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Y'all jiggle it and walk your waist. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Just wanna catch funny and down, wind down. We walk, we waste, walk, we waste. Just wanna touch funny edge and wind down. In the dance, when I dance, to Instagram. Try to come on, let me do it thing now. Give me the walk on, let me do it thing now. Cause I'm ready so. Me bust a wine, I rotate my bumper. Me done tell you, me no want no hooligan. Try to come on, let me do it thing now. Give me the walk on. Give me the walk now, give me the walk now. Oh. Days when you're coming out of bed in a sneakers and a short pants. With a rag in your hand and a flag in your hand. It don't matter the area. Kim and girls walk up off it. No, we don't care what nobody think. But it's jump out, we're just not gonna do it. We walk, we ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Don't go anywhere. On behalf of the Music Association, I'd like to present you with this award for your regional success. Please, if you would mind, grace us with a little thank you speech.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of my Cayman family. I consider you all family. We are a small country. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, and also the Music Association, of course. Please keep on supporting all of the local talent. It is very, very important to build up the music industry right here in the Cayman Islands and make a name for ourselves. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Andrea. All right, so we'll continue with the program. And we're moving on to the Icon Awards. This is what you guys have been waiting for all night. Up first, we're going to start with Melvin Augustine. One of the most talented musicians within the Cayman Islands. He was a master of many musical instruments, as well as a prolific songwriter and performer. This seems to have descended to his two sons, Calvin and Daniel, who themselves are musical. Before moving to the Cayman Islands, Melvin was employed in his native country as an assistant bandmaster of the Belize Police Force. After receiving the required musical theory recognition from the Royal School of Music in the UK. He moved to the Cayman Islands with his family in September 1976 to join the Royal Cayman Islands Police Force as a police tailor, and was also tasked with developing a ceremonial police band. The band grew under his direction, and it became an integral part of police and public functions, the highlight of which was playing for the Queen of England when she visited the Cayman Islands in 1994. In these islands, Melvin continued to display his excellent musicianship. He will be remembered for his many musical recordings, such as Munzie's Boat, as well as leading top dance bands like the Lonelies Combo and the Settlers within these islands. His band, the Settlers, also went on to back international artists like the late Arrow, most famous for his songs Hot, 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 and the mighty Gabby from Barbados, whose hit song was Jack Don't Want Me to Bathe on the Beach. Both songs were very popular in these islands and frequently played on Radio Cayman. He was influential in the Pirates Week Festival on these islands. He and his band went on to back and record many local artists such as Maxine McCoy, the late Ray McLaughlin, Eric Smith, and many others. Melvin retired from the Royal Cayman Islands Police in 2006. He taught music briefly at the Red Bay Primary School and privately tutored other people on the various instruments. Melvin, a multi-talented musician who played just about every musical instrument. In his later years, he mainly played as a one-person band. His influence on music of the Cayman Islands shall long outlive us, and his many recordings will continue to be played here and abroad. Tonight, we are proud to present the Music Icon Award to Melvin Augustine. Here on his behalf, musical icon recipient Bunny Miles will come to present the award to the family of Melvin Augustine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's with great pleasure and honor to present this award to Mr. Melvin Augustine, which I'm so sorry that he's not here to receive it. So I'll just have to give it to the family or call his son, Daniel Augustine, to receive it from me. But Melvin and I go a long ways. We've been in bands together. We played, we toured, and he was a great, great musician and a mentor to a lot of people in this island. I would like to present this award to Mr. Melvin's children, Mr. Mr. Daniel Augustine, and Raphael Augustine, granddaughter.
Good night, everybody. I'm Jaffe Augustine, granddaughter of Melvin Augustine, and as was already mentioned, he has made his mark on the Cayman Islands. And on top of his many other achievements, he also introduced punta rock to the Cayman Islands in the 80s. And other songs he might be known for, aside from Munsey's Boat, is Run Come to the Cayman Islands. Thank you, Radio Cayman, for always playing his music. And I just want to say thank you all for your support and your continued interest in the music industry and for keeping live music and local music alive.
Our next musical icon, Charles Gregory. Greggy G was involved in the music industry in Cayman for more than 40 years. His love of music started in the late 1990s when he was involved with several bands including Soul Revival and Howl and the Lynx. While he continued to work full-time in the flooring covering industry, he also continued to hone his musical talents part-time. In 1975, the Memory of Justice Band was formed. Founding members were Lammy Seymour, bass player, Greggy G, lead singer and percussionist, Leonard Ebrink, lead guitarist Tabio, Alan Miles, drummer, and Henry Leslie, keyboards. Greggy G convinced Errol Watler, friend and owner of Funky Tangs, that he should be the manager of MOJ Band. The band evolved over the years with changes in band members and positions. Greggy G added bass guitar to vocals and the creative juices flowed. As a successful Caribbean reggae band, MOJ has opened for such big names as Third World, Steel Pulse, Shaka Khan, Richie Stephens, Marcia Griffiths, and Byron Lee and the Dragonaires. MOJ Band has worked with Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare, who produced their first #1 hit, Me and My Crew, which they performed live at Reggae Sunsplash in Montego Bay, Jamaica in 1984. They also performed jamming in the park at Reggae Sunsplash and were well received by the Partizans Jamaica crowd. Once Greggy G established Hopscotch recording studios back in the early 1990s, he looked for other ways to enhance and expand his business. He envisioned a one-stop shop experience through Hopscotch because he was not satisfied that his clients' event needs were being met at Hopscotch. He therefore added the PA system, lighting, and the stage to a range of services offered. In studio work includes country music superstars like Rascal Flatts. His vast experience as an in-house audio engineer gave him opportunities to work with many international audio engineers. On the local scene, Greggy G was instrumental in encouraging and mentoring young musicians. For example, in the early 90s, he managed and named a high school band, Daily Report, whose members were Nicholas and Bradley Johnson, Christopher Bodden, and his son, Javi. He also played a pivotal role in the development and mentoring of Swanky Kitchen Band and partnered with them to produce their 2 albums. Besides mentoring the band, he was the audio engineer for their live performances locally and internationally. Greggy G also assisted many schools, churches, and numerous charitable organizations with their audio and sound system needs. He was also tireless in his efforts to help young people in their pursuit of musical endeavors. Greggy G received many accolades in the music industry, including a plaque in 2009 from the Cayman Music Association in recognition of his 40-plus years as an entrepreneur in the Cayman Islands, a plaque from Rascal Flatts for his efforts in recording a number of their songs, multi-million dollar selling albums, and receipt of their Order of the Cayman Islands Medal of Merit Gold in 2010. Tonight, we also welcome Bunny Miles, musical icon recipient, to deliver the Music Icon Award to the family of the late Greggy G.
Once again, it's a great honor to give this award. Also, sorry again that the brother Greg is not here to receive it. His grandchildren is here to receive it, so I'll be pleased to give it to them. But Greg was a very great musician. Everybody knows was a good, very good engineer, and also a mentor to a lot of kids and a lot of people in the music industry. I would like to present this award to his grandchildren.
Our final Music Icon Award goes to Jonathan Ebanks. David Jonathan Ebanks was one of the most prolific and talented musicians the Cayman Islands has ever seen. He played in more than 20 bands and recorded over 32 songs on various albums throughout the course of his career. He opened for and performed with various celebrities over the decades, such as Shaka Khan, Third World, Lucky Do, and Damian Marley. Many awards were presented to him for his contribution to music, including the CMEA Guitarist of the Year Award, the CMEA Long Service Award, and Order of the Cayman Islands Medal Merit of Gold. John will always be lovingly remembered by the music community for sharing his wit, his commitment, and his passion for the guitar with generations of Cayman's music lovers, and for his mastery of the legendary Dyer model harp guitar. Here to present the award, Bunny Miles. If you can welcome you to the stage again, please.
Once again, what can I say about Jonathan? Everybody in the island knows Jonathan was the best guitarist in this island and abroad. And I want to big up MOJ band, Greg, Lam, and Powell, who's the drummer. And the MOJ band, along with Jonathan, was one of the best bands in this country, and I would say abroad. If you listen to the music of MOJ album, you can say that you can come to the same conclusion that I come to, that they were the greatest musicians in the island. And Jonathan was the greatest guitarist that I know in this island. I would like to present this award to his daughter, which I think is also a musician. So, and his sister. So with all the best intentions, and all I can say is the greatest, one of the greatest musicians of all time.
I had to get that picture. Well, speech. Say something on behalf of Dad.
Hello, I'm the eldest, Janelle, and yes, I'm a musician, former music teacher. Thank you all for the opportunity to collect this on my father's behalf. It isn't very easy. I can tell you if he was here tonight, he would have played through the entire event on the back of that stage right there. He wouldn't have let his guitar stop playing. That's how he was. I encourage all of you, if you have children, grandchildren, to get them involved in music, get them playing an instrument or singing, dancing. We are very artistic people in the Caribbean, and we must express ourselves and pass the music and the love on. That is my message tonight, to keep the music alive, and peace and love always. Thank you very much.
Keep live music alive. That's the message. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes all of the awards for tonight, but now we'd like to call on stage the band Swanky to give us some entertainment along with Mr. Howell. That's what a lot of people have been waiting for, as you know. So let's get it all together while Swanky get themselves on the stage.
Mr. Howell, you having fun?
Yes, man.
Oh, gosh. Well, Mr. Howell, I think the people them just getting warmed up, you know. They've been here all night waiting to hear you. Son. Where's Daddy want you? You want to do one more? You want to do best at me? You can handle one more? You think so? All right, lead
Can I help myself with the saxophone through my mouth, you know?
Okay. So, we're going to try Bésame Mucho. Rise to your feet, ladies and gentlemen. This is 104 years old. A 104-year-old musician, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, the only reason why we're here tonight is because we got a message this week from Mr. Howell saying he's feeling good and he wants to perform for the Musicians Award ceremony tonight. Only if Swanky Kitchen Band backs him up. So whatever we were doing, we had to drop it to make sure we were here tonight to jam with Mr. Howell because we had a grand time last year this time. And thank God for his mercy in allowing us to have another opportunity to jam together again. So we're going to do another song tonight because tonight's a very, very special night for us. We're so happy to have the Ebanks family, the Gregory family, the Augustine family. These families are part of our family. We are part of their family. It's obviously 2018 has been a year that we would rather forget. So when I saw 2019 coming around the corner, I was so happy because 2018 we couldn't really take any more licks after the year we had in 2018. So the next song we're going to play is one of Mr. Melvin's originals. And Mr. Melvin means the absolute world to me. He was so patient with Daniel and I growing up, making all that noise in his music studio and using his equipment and fasting with his things. I can hear him now. Aina. Daniel and boys keep fast with my things. Mother's sick. He would get so upset with us because we would trouble all his equipment, just experimenting. But eventually, he caved in and he gave us our own little setup. And that was our little cave of creation. So you see Gordon Solomon, you see Stuart Wilson, you see Joel Rose, all of them got their start in Mr. Melvin's little studio, which we appropriately named Tora Bora, the cave of creation. So we were musical terrorists back then. We've graduated on to other things, but we owe so much to Mr. Melvin. So I don't know what the song is named again, but anyway, it's one of my favorites, right? It's an instrumental. Mr. Fred can probably tell us what the name is, all right? It's a Belizean folk song, all right? Jenna, that one's for you. Love you. So, we had to play Munzie Boat in the sound. I mean, Mr. Melvin's version is the most popular version. I don't think we can ever top that version still, right? Not that we're trying. No, we're not playing no C sharp. I won't survive. I got a rebellion going on behind me here. They're trying to mess me up. Wouldn't be the first time. But we're going to give you all a little Munzie Boat. I mean, listen, you're all going home now, so you can start to, exercise your legs and get some of that, those cramps that have developed for sitting down so long, You can work them out now, you know what I mean? All right. Join in the fun. This is a work in progress, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new low for even Daniel. He come on stage with no sticks. Fresh sticks all the way from Orlando, provided by the Seymour family. Thank you very much, Miss Judy, and Kailani, and Catherine. This is one of John's favorite songs to play. He'll get all kind of funny sounds going on it, make the guitar laugh and all kind of stuff, right? Chris, make the guitar laugh like John. One more for the road. So, of course, that song, just to show you the continuity of music in Cayman, Josh Pearl, as you know, is the great-grandson of Aunt Julia who wrote that song. So music is still flowing through the blood of our younger generation, and so proud of all the stuff that Josh Pearl does and keeping it real and paying homage to his roots, you know what I mean? He never forgets that, even though he's doing rap. So it might be different for some of us, but he's still connected to who he is as a Caymanian. So this last song we're gonna sing tonight is called Ride. Dedicated to Miss Cindy, Miss Ina, to Miss Olive, and to all those out there who have stuck beside us as musicians. You know, being married to a musician, you get a special crown, a special star in your crown in heaven for being married to a musician. Believe you me. We're not the easiest people on earth. Not true, Miss Judy? You're not supposed to say yes, you know. Lamb, she says she's not saying nothing. Her lips are sealed. But honest to God, right? It's not easy being with a musician. It takes a special woman to be a musician's wife. And we want to honor those great women tonight, Miss Olive Gerger, Mrs. Ina Augustine, Miss Cindy Ebanks, and of course, Miss Judy's right there as well too. So this song, which KK sings, tells the story of love and the story of rolling through it, riding through it, through thick and thin. All right? So this is the one for the road. Right. Of course, Elkie does not have an easy job, right? So.
Mic check.
just want to make a little introduction. On bass guitar, Mr. Lambert Seymour. On keyboards, Henry Leslie. On horns, Devon Eddy. On drums, Daniel Augustine. The beautiful voices that you've been hearing, KK Ali. And on percussions, Paula Scott, Brown Sugar. And the young blood, Christopher Seymour on lead guitar, J.J. Johnson, Nicholas on rhythm guitar, and the main man himself, Mr. Radley Rose. And we're not forgetting we're going to make an application to the Guinness Book of Record for the oldest musician playing music in the world, Mr. Wesley Havley. Give it up. Yes, I think he qualified. I think he's going to be a recipient for the oldest playing musician in the world, Mr. Wesley Howley, the Godfather. Thank you, Mr. Howell. Ladies and gentlemen, Swanky Mr. Howell and Swanky Band. Ladies and gentlemen, they have made their contribution. Before we leave tonight, I want to make special mention of the executive board of the Music and Entertainment Association, the hardworking members, and I'd like to call them up on stage. I'd like to call Vashni. Vashni, she's our secretary, and she's done a wonderful work. So I'm calling Vashni. I'm calling Michael E. Banks, Sean Smith, our president. These guys have done outstanding work for the association. And Mr. Lana Brown, just come yourself, present yourself on stage, please. We work hard, we try to do everything that we can to make the Music Association stay alive and to keep music alive. That's very important. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your hard-working exec. Put your hands together for them for me, please. They deserve that and more. So ladies and gentlemen, closing arguments. I would like to say that we thank you all for coming out tonight. We're going to have a little jam session if you care to stick around. There's something at the bar. I don't know whether it's sodas or whatever. You can still have to drink. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time entertaining you and having you here at this wonderful occasion. We do it every year, and we expect to have you again next year, God's willing. So ladies and gents, I tell you, we love you, and you've been a wonderful audience. So we want to say good night, everybody. But before I say good night, Mr. President, any closing words? You got to dress his hair back now. You look good. It's raining outside? It's raining outside. Oh, my car top down? Yeah, but your car top down. No. Put it up. See, that's why I got wet. Our president, Mr. Sean Smith.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say thanks again for coming out. It truly is a pleasure all the time to put on the Muzaic events. I see some good friends in the back. Rat Skin. Put your hands together for Rat Skin. These guys have been together for 40 years. That's absolutely right. I'm telling you, Mr. Mark Taggart in the back, and Mr. Dwight Marion, bad man, on the gits. Mr. Fred Sambul is in the house as well. And the minister's also here. I'd like to acknowledge him and say thank you for coming out. As you can see, everybody's trying to take photo ops with Mr. Howell. I understand how that goes. You understand? He is a star for sure. Once again, we'd like everybody to come out tomorrow to the live music showcase, which is going to be in Georgetown, behind the library, which is at the end of the Heroes Day Awards. So what's happening is as soon as the Heroes Day Awards are finished, then we have live music in Georgetown behind the library. We actually have 5 bands. I think actually one of the bands just postponed because he couldn't get a flight from the BRAC. That's Gordon Solomon and Vanguard. But tomorrow we will have Sugar Daddy. Mark, Sugar Daddy will be there. Lion Fish will be there. Backbeat Band, don't forget that, with Mr. Blake Hurlston over here. He's a past president of the Music Association, and also Regeneration Band, which is headed up by the founder of the association over here. To my right, Mr. Edlin Miles, and musical icon, Mr. Bunny Miles over there. I want to say it's really, it really, it really is a pleasure putting on the event. We'd like you guys to spread the word. I'm sure you had a great time. I mean, where else can you go on a Sunday and hear live music in Cayman and not pay $1 to get in? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Absolutely. Well, God bless you all until we see you again.